There's something about, I think for me, when I think of a summer vacation, I associate that with the beach. I mean, everyone
Sure.
has their different fantasy. For some people, it's Paris. For some people, it's Italy. It could be the Midwest. It could be Florida, Arizona, fill in the blanks, right? But for me, it is the beach. And as we are now in summer, maybe your vacation, the old staycation thing, maybe it is hanging around the house, hanging around the yard. Why not make your place feel like you are at the beach? Because it's as simple as
I don't know why
that.
you wouldn't do that. Because, some years you may not be able to afford the vacation.
Exactly.
Like last year we were able to take a bunch of time off. This year we can't do it. So we're going to need to figure out a way to make it seem like, hey, kids, we're all here. It's fun. We're not going anywhere, but we're going to make a great time.
Yay!
So how do you do that? That's a really good question.
I think I need to see you as a tour guide with one of those little flags.
Oh, man.
You know how it is at Disneyland?
Hey, nobody looks better in khaki than I do.
I think it. I mean,
With epaulets.
but you have to hold one of those little flags up in the air. That a lot of
it.
times these tour groups.
This way.
Hey,
this way.
And
Yeah.
then your kids will be going, Dad, like,
Oh,
what is
no.
going on?
Just
We're in
another
our
reason,
yard.
Another reason to glare at me.
So how about it could be as simple as making your patio your own outdoor oasis so that it looks like you are right there in Cabo.
I don't know why you wouldn't do it. Now, what are some of your techniques?
The idea is to make that space, copy what the resorts would do.
Yeah.
With in terms of seating and pillows and fragrances and plants and all that stuff. And by the way, you could even make that outdoor look happen inside. Let's say that you had a living room and you want to convert that into a beach, or just find the right room, a sunroom or an enclosed porch be a great spot for the indoor beach. Number one, then you want to figure out how far do you want to go? Do you want a traditional living room with beach decor and colors, or do you want the whole thing to basically evoke a beach? You got to figure that out first, because it could be...
Say I want the whole thing to evoke a beach.
Okay.
What
Well,
do I
first
do?
you want to keep your budget in mind. You want to maybe bring in patio chairs that you already have, believe it or not, from outside, and set a tabletop fountain inside. And so basically it will now make your sunroom or your living room feel like you are right there beachside.
That's kind of cool.
It's kind of different. It's kind of unconventional. But
You want to hear something so weird?
What's that?
When I was in 8th grade, Tara Larange, I hope she's still out there, her whole family carried in buckets and buckets and buckets of sand
where? They carried it...
into their home in Evanston, Illinois, and they dumped sand from Lake Michigan on the beach there right in their sunroom and created an indoor beach.
Totally love that.
I know, and we would all come over and be like,
See,
hey,
this is fun.
that's sand.
Kind of different, but
And people thought it was great.
They
We
were
always
ahead
thought
of their time.
They sure were. Yeah.
And you could even do that with your yard if you had like a little play box, if you would, or create you'd want to have some kind of a shell to hold, a vessel to hold the sand.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I've made a ton of these sand boxes in my day, so those are actually fun for little kids. But the only thing you have to do is make sure that you cover them at night, either with a tarp or plywood, because the animals use the sandbox as a rest facility. Yeah, as a da facility.
But if you're doing this in your sun porch area,
No, it wouldn't matter.
They're not coming in.
They're not. Well, unless you have an indoor cat, then you got to be careful.
Geez.
So that's the only thing you got to look out for.
Those
You do a lot of, hey,
cats.
hey, that's not a...
They always find the perfect place,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they
So
do.
if you did have your sunroom, would you want some kind of a shell to hold the sand? You just
Probably
not
so,
throwing it
yeah,
on the floor.
yeah. No, you don't want to throw it on the floor. You make a little sandbox in there. It'd be fun.
Uh-huh.
And
Or
that's-
plastic tarp or some kind?
You could do that easily. And then, to create the sandbox, you would just use, 2x12 material, which is like big framing lumber.
Uh-huh.
And you cut it to length, however big you want that square to become. And you literally just nail off the ends to create a box on the floor. And you could put a piece of plastic visqueen inside of it as a liner. It's almost, think of it like a waterbed frame. Remember those?
Right.
Where
Do I remember water
Hey,
beds?
take it easy. And the lava lamp too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Anyway, it becomes just a self-contained little place, and then it's fun for kids if you don't have the budget this year to go anywhere fun.
And it's fun for
Make a
adults
sandbox
too.
inside,
But I
yeah.
love that. And then you could just think of the possibilities, because that's going to feel so great on
Well,
your
then
feet.
you could create the ultimate sandcastle
Well,
and won't be disrupted.
And the
but-
furniture just kind of sits there in the sand. You could get some of that low sitting, those recliners and beach chairs,
and
right?
if it's
and an
contained,
umbrella.
if it's contained in that frame, you can then carry it out when you get sick of it pretty
I
easily.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And think
Yeah.
about the colors that a beach beach means to you. And is it like, those muted pastels or natural tones of sand and surf? Or maybe you want some of those bright tropical colors that make you think of the Caribbean, or
Sure.
Mexico or something like that in terms of pottery and decor. And don't forget to look at real beaches. I mean, if you go to Pinterest and some of these other sites, Instagram, there's so much out there online where you can find great photos of beaches, of beach resorts, and seashore rooms and seashore homes, and kind of copy that. Like, what are they using? What are the elements that hotel, there's a reason why they've got that really cool stuff. Like,
Sure.
for me, one of my favorite things in Cabo, they were all about candles, a series of candles, but they were in large hurricane vases with sand in the bottom.
Oh, that's pretty.
So again, using the sand technique, you would just get a couple, maybe get like 6 of them, go wild. Have these hurricane, glass vases of different heights, fill it like maybe a third up with sand, and then you put your candle right in the middle. You could even put some shells in the sand around the candle.
I like it.
But it's so cool because it doesn't take anything. It's very
No.
inexpensive, but yet it makes you feel like you're on vacation.
I don't even mind the little flicker lights that look like candles, but they're
The
battery operated. I think those work
the
great.
little votives. Yeah, so same thing, but get some of the sand. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you can get sand inexpensively, right? Big bags of sand.
Well, yeah. If you live near the beach, you just fill up the back of the truck
You
with it.
could, but
or
if
you
you
can
don't-
buy play sand at the big box store.
Yes.
Very, very
You
inexpensive.
can.
Yeah.
Um,
Now the other thing for creating an area to become your vacation area for
Yes.
the summer if you're
Yes.
not going away,
Yeah.
an outdoor theater.
Oh my gosh.
You know how much this has helped my
Yeah,
life?
yeah.
I mean, and it's pretty simple to do. You can buy these projectors that are essentially slide projectors that hook into your laptop computer, and then you run the movie on that through this device that shines the light out onto a big screen, which can either be A, the side of your house, B, a big sheet is all you really need.
Mm-hmm.
And we do this all the time, and this is really great because then you can bring some of the indoor furniture out,
Mm-hmm.
create these lovely little seating areas on a nice summer night, and you've got the whole idea of the outdoor drive-in theater, which basically is non-existent anymore. I mean, when's the last time you were at a real drive-in?
It's a good technique. It's
Yeah.
fun. It makes you feel like you're on vacation, and it also could make you feel, especially if you've got that sand thing going on, you're not only at the beach, but you are getting some entertainment.
Absolutely.
Don't forget some tropical plants. Tropical looking plants will make you feel like you're at the beach. And use natural materials. So again, if you were trying to make, let's say, an indoor space a feeling of the beach, this could be a bathroom or a living room or you name it. You can get, like, let's say, a little bit of bamboo lattice or even a mat or even like in an island pattern or an interesting piece of driftwood and use that as a sculpture. Some of those little accents will definitely make you feel like you're at the beach, And don't forget maybe planting some space outside the room. We talk about this a lot. Like, not only you have your beach, let's say, in the living room or in your mud room, right?
Sure.
Or your sunroom. But now, if there's a window, you want to be looking through that window and enjoying what's outside so that, too, looks like the beach. Right?
And then at the end of the day, if your kids go, "This isn't the beach, this is our home, and we didn't get to go anywhere," all you have to do is say, "Pipe down."
Go to your room.
Go to your room.
Yeah. You can make the view, though, through the windows or your patio door as tropical and beach-like as your climate allows. Again, choosing colors and styles for some of the hard surfaces. Cover a patio or wall with a tile in warm colors or a tropical motif, and maybe even put in a little bit of, again, a little sand feature, a sandbox, maybe a water feature, a pond, all that stuff.
Well, I'll tell you, the indoor sound of the water sound indoors is a beautiful feature. Even if you just buy a pre-existing fountain at the big box store or any area, you're going to love that feeling.
You can also buy a tabletop Zen garden. If you didn't really want to have a whole bunch of sand to create your beach, either outdoors in the sandbox or in your sunroom or whatever, don't forget something as minimalist as just a tabletop little sandbox area. And it's
Love
going to
it.
be a Zen garden, and that will make you feel, kind of like you're at the beach. You could then put a little terrarium with some colored sand in there and maybe some seashells. Amazing how just little things like that will make you feel, like you're at the beach. And remember, too, if you have that fireplace, now in the summertime, you're not going to be using your fire, turn your fireplace now into a beach theme, by putting maybe some driftwood in there with some other kind of decorative things, or maybe even hurricane vases that have candles in there, or different ways to use that now open space to make it feel like it's the beach.
Fantastic.
You know?
Do you use the Zen gardens ever with the little rake and all
I
that
haven't
stuff?
done that.
Those
I
are
mean,
kind of
I've
fun.
I've bought them for friends, like for their office, and some people are really into it. And I, if you really get into that like whole bonsai manicure thing, it's very calming because you have to focus just on that. Forget about Facebook and email. You're now just, working on the sand.
Yeah, that's it.
And remember fragrance too. I mean, whenever we go to certain hotels, there's something about walking into, let's say, the Mandalay Bay. It smells like the tropics.
Oh, that's nice. I like
So
that.
bring that kind of a scent to your home, and you're going to feel like you're at the beach, and that's going to fool your kids. I hope.
I hope so.
All right, Eric Stormer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards. Be sure to check us out on our website at yourhomewizards.com because we love to improve your home and improve your life.
Walking my baby back home. We go along harmonizing a song, or I'm reciting a poem. Owls go by and they give me the eye. Walking my baby.